Hello everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the G.I. Joe retro card figure, Dr.Mindbender. Now, a lot of people are probably really excited that this figure came out because a couple years ago, Hasbro did do a classified version, but it was an exclusive figure, and like always, it became a problem for the fans to get a hold of it. It sold out a lot quicker than it should, and there was a whole bunch of goofiness around that. So now, fans have a chance to actually get a really good version of Dr. Mindbender. So I'm really curious to see what they do with this figure. Now, near the end of this video, I'm also going to be doing a comparison of this Dr. Mindbender with the exclusive figure as well. So stay around to check that out. And also, anybody who has subscribed, you're very much appreciated. And for anybody who does watch this video and like it, then I please ask that you subscribe as well. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. Okay, so here he is in packaging. Now you got your standard retro G.I. Joe look. So you got, choking hazards here, age restriction, G.I. Joe, Cobra the enemy, letting you know that he's one of the bad guys. His name. Then you get, like I said, the standard G.I. Joe blast effect behind the figure, which looks really nice. You have him inside this shell here. All right. Spin him around to the back. All right. You have G.I. Joe, his file card, everybody who's part of this line, and you got your legal underneath. Now, I didn't notice this on the other figures, but I definitely have to check. I like that they have up here, knowing is half the battle. I think that's a really cool nod to the original cartoon. I do like that above the file card. So, spin them back around. Boop. With all that being said, let's open him up and see what he's about. So here he is, out of packaging. For the most part, he's a pretty decent looking figure. I like the overall profile. So let's start getting into his points of articulation. So he has pretty much the standard G.I. Joe classified points of articulation. So the head does move. All right, you got his shoulder joint here. A little bit tight. All right, got the swivel. Got your elbow joint and your wrist joint. This up here, he does have a joint right here in the middle, underneath the ribs. And, ooh, that's kind of tight. He does have a joint at the hips, but it looks like it's restrained by this harness here that he's wearing. So it makes it so you can't really turn it. All right. So that's kind of a bummer. All right. You got your thigh joint here. All right. And your knee joint. You also got a swivel at the top of the boot. And you have your ankle joint. All right. Get him down on here. Now let's start looking at some of his details. So first off, I do like the head sculpt to him. All right. So you got his monocle there. Looks like they added some like techno stuff to the side of it. All right. I'm back around this way. Okay. He has the standard Dr. Mindbender costume, so he has no shirt on. He has, like I said, the harness that comes down. He has the cod piece. And then he has the knee-high boots. Bring him around this way. You can see that he has a holster for his gun. Let's get this cape out of the way a little bit. All right. So as you can see, there's a holster for his gun. Bring it around to the back. You got the back of the harness. Put the cape down. Now you got your Cobra logo, but this little flap here covers it up. So if you move this flap out of the way, up like that, you can see the Cobra logo. I think they should have brought this down a little bit, like maybe put the Cobra logo here. So when this is down, it doesn't interfere with that. So I kind of find that a little bit of a disappointment because I know that was one of the big issues everybody had with the other version was that it didn't have the Cobra logo on the back. All right, spin them around this way. You can see the designs in his arm gauntlets are pretty cool. I do like that overall. And back around again. So basically, he is your standard Dr. Mindbender. So now let's start getting into his accessories. So first off, he comes with a stand. This is pretty much standard for your retro figures. So obviously he's Cobra, so they put the Cobra logo on there. Comes with a pistol. All right. Oops. Comes with an injector gun. I believe, if I remember right, this is what he uses to inject like the DNA of Serpentor and what have you. I could be wrong in that. All right. He comes with this canister thing that hooks up to two different types of apparatuses. All right, so there's the canister. This is the hose for it. And these are the two pieces here. So here's the one. All right. And then here's the other one. I believe this one is the more traditional one. Uh, More like the original figure, to be honest with you. So now let's see how well all this works. So first off, we're going to put him on to his stand here. All right. Just because it's going to make my life easier when I start doing all this stuff. Ankle don't want to go down. There it goes. That's on. So this, I always like the display stands for these guys. No, I do feel like they should have their name on them. I think that would make them a lot nicer. So we're going to start with the guns first. All right. I'll put one in this hand. Let's do the pistol. All right. That goes in pretty easily. No issues with that. And we're going to do this gun next. All right. So as you can see, the two guns fit very well in his hands. I don't have any issues with them. All right. This I'll just put to the side here. This pistol fits right in the holster here. All right. Lift his arm up so you can see. No issues with that. Fits pretty well. All right. Now let's try these guns. Guess I'll put one in each hand. All right. So you got that one there. You got this one here. All right. So as you can see, they both work in either hand. No issues. Now you got the hose, which should just hook right onto the back of this. And then you got this goofy thing. Hooks on here. Now this is designed to hook onto his belt. So there's a spot right here for this. Just hooks on like that. All right, right onto his belt. So now that hooks up like that. Could have that work with that hose. No issues with that. As a matter of fact, I could probably just drape it across the front here for the other one. So as you can see, that hose also works with this one. So the hose works with both of these nozzles or apparatuses. I don't know what exactly they're considered. And then the pack hooks on very nicely onto the back of his belt. So everything seems to work pretty well with this figure. So here are the two of them side by side. This one's your retro. This one's your exclusive. Now, in all essentialness, they're both pretty much the same figure. I feel like the retro one has a slightly different designed head sculpt, but there's not a lot of differences to it. For one, the head sculpt paint job on the retro is a lot better than the one on the exclusive, because if you spin them around this way, you look at his beard and stuff, you can see where they didn't completely paint the beard and his eyebrows. So the uh the retro one definitely has a better paint job to the face. All right. And when it comes to the monocles, I feel like the retro ones, the monocle is a little bit better looking than the exclusive. All right. Now, as for the neck down, they're both pretty much the same figure. The only difference is slight paint differences. So the retro one, his purple is a brighter purple, where the exclusive one is a darker purple. Okay. And then same with the armor, like his armor's a lighter silver. This one's a darker silver. The same with like the buckles and everything for his belt and everything. And also, the retro one has these silver bands where the exclusive one don't. And of course, the big difference, spin them around this way, is the capes. All right. This one looks like it's made of a little bit better material, to be honest with you. It's a lot softer and nicer, where this one's a little bit more shimmery. And of course, it has the Cobra logo on the back. All right. Bring them around this way. All right. So for the most part, they're pretty much exactly the same figure. Now, even the weapons are all the same. The only difference with the weapons is, of course, the exclusive one comes with the extra like vials the for the injector. It comes with the skull, the hand, and like the tubes to put the skull and hand and everything. So it comes with that extra stuff. But as for actual weapons, the weapons and everything are exactly the same. All right, so let's get into my final thoughts with this guy. So first off, most of his joints work pretty well. I'm kind of disappointed that you can't really move his hips very much due to the way how this harness is set up on him, so you can't get much body movement on him. So that's a bit of a disappointment. All his accessories work fine with him. Don't have any issues with any of his accessories. Um, as for the overall look to him, I do like the overall look to him. I do like the fact that they added the Cobra logo on his back, though I think they should have dropped it down a little bit more on his back. So when you have that little piece of cloth that goes, from the back of his head to the cape, it doesn't block up the Cobra logo. So that would probably be one of my few flaws with this figure, would be that. Other than that, overall, I do like the figure. I think he's a pretty good looking figure. So at the end of the day, would I recommend this figure? Well, yes and no. Okay. Um, for anybody who hasn't gotten the special edition Dr.Mindbender, then absolutely I would 100% recommend this figure. For somebody who already has the exclusive one, it's a hit or miss, because they're both practically the same figure. There's very little differences to them. Some obviously he has the lighter colors, he has the darker ones, he has the Cobra logo on the back and the silver on the boots. But for the most part, that's the main difference between the two of them, other than the fact that this one has a couple extra goodies. But at the same token, I'm still torn with that, because I feel like the retro version is the better version. They took a little bit more work with the paint, where this one there's a little bit of sloppy painting like around the beard and mustache and eyebrows. I like the color palette on this one a lot better than I do with this one, but essentially they're still the same figure. So, I'm on the fence with this one. Like I said, if you don't have this guy, definitely pick him up. If you do have this guy, then according to your budget or whether you're a completist, you'd pick this one up as well. So with all that being said, I hope you all did like this review. If you did,
go ahead and check out my G.I. Joe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.